Hey there, Soulshine. It's Michelle the Miracle Maker, and I'm here today to invite you to wake up and live and to give you a little tip on how you can do that. It's a little technique. I'm going to walk you through what I did for my surrender. So a few days ago, I kind of threw an emotional temper tantrum. I am just feeling so done with everything, and I just was really frustrated. It's like all this energy work and I feel amazing, but there's still things that aren't changing. It's like I just kind of got upset through a temper tantrum, if you will. And so I did that, and then I took care of the feeling I was feeling inside. I just had this part of me that just wanted to scream. Ah! And I was able to take care of that, and then I just kind of felt depressed. And I was having a hard time. Like I could shift out of it, use some of the tools and stuff, but it wasn't like staying away, and it was frustrating me, right? I'm sorry, I'm always adjusting. Like, stop looking at myself. I won't need to adjust. So, sorry about that. So it was really bugging me, and I had to really go. And I just asked, what would it take to be able to shift this energy? And I kind of had some thoughts what was going on. And I felt like I needed to post a question on Facebook. So I posted the question because I realized what I was doing was living in survival mode, meaning like kind of always just getting by and trying to get by and trying to take care of those basic needs and feeling frustrated that they weren't getting taken care of, and always kind of afraid that if something were to happen to like my mom, because I live with my mom, I was afraid if something were to happen to her, so that her income wasn't coming in to support us, I would end up homeless. So there's like this great big fear thing going, and I'm like, so I posted on Facebook something to the effect of, what would you say is the key to getting out of survival mode? Because that's what I felt like I was supposed to do. So I posted it. And the responses were interesting because they were all things that I've been doing. There are things that I tell you guys to do. And I was like, okay, this is all fine and dandy, but it's not working. And but the amazing thing happened is I was responding to people, and sometimes it was kind of triggered, and so I would delete it, but I was able to see what was going on. And what I came to was this visual, and I kind of had a two-part visual, and so they're kind of together, but one was life is hanging on by a thread. So it's like I was doing in my thumbnail, holding on for dear life, right? I'm just holding on, because if I let go, everything is going to fall apart. The other visual I had was like kind of going in like the southern Utah desert and being on one of the little rock formation pinnacle things, but I'm seeing it as like literally a point, and there's like barely a thing, and I'm just like teetering on this, holding on to the rope for dear life, teetering on this, afraid that I'm going to fall. Like, one little thing happens and the whole world tumbles down. Like something happens to my mom, everything falls apart. If something were to happen in this area of my life or this area, like just these little things. And I start, like if I was doing things for my health and for my body, it's like it took so much effort to do it. And if I just did one little thing wrong, everything would fall apart. And it felt like all my efforts were just totally thwarted. And so I was repeating this pattern over and over again with my body. I was repeating this pattern over again in all areas of my life. And so here I am in this, I'm like holding on for dear life. And how many of us, like seriously, how many of us are holding on for dear life? We're like so afraid that if we let go, everything's going to just fall apart. Or if something happens, one more thing happens, it's like that straw that broke the camel's back. If one more thing happens, everything's going to fall apart. So if you're feeling like this is what I was able to do. And so I see in my mind's eye, I imagine this image that I've got in my head where I'm standing on like this point, wobbling, because there's not really even anywhere to stand. So it's like I feel like I'm standing like on a steeple or something. Maybe it's really, really small. And I'm just like wobbling, holding on for dear life, right? So I see that in my mind's eye. I do a couple of things. One is I bombard that image with light. I use light from God. You can use light from your higher self. You can use light from the universe. Whatever it is that you believe in, just bombard it with light so that it clears. And there's this clearing statement that I say is that I'm clear and transmute this in my soul and across all time, space, dimensions, realities, generations, and spirits. I have reasons for all of the words, so I'll say them one more time. I'm clearing this energy in my soul and across all time, space, dimensions, realities, generations, and spirits. And if you ever want to know what the different parts are, just let me know and I'll tell you. So I bombard it with light and I clear the energy because that helps get it to so it doesn't repeat. But I'm still seeing in my mind's eye me holding on. So the question I ask is, what would it feel like if I let go? Which it can be kind of scary to let go. But I allowed my mind to imagine what would happen if I let go. And so I let go. And I fall. And the amazing thing is because I've cleared this energy and stuff, there's a net. So when you fall, there's a safety net to catch you. And so I knew that the thing that I follow up with is bombard that energy some more with more light. And this time you want to imprint and create in your soul and across all time, space, dimensions, realities, and generations. You want to imprint, and spirits, sorry. You want to imprint and create safety and surrender and trust. You want to imprint those kind of words into the energy so that you're changing the energy. And so you imagine this thing. Now here's what I did. I was like, okay, awesome. I got caught by the net. I can climb back up again. So I climb back up again, but in my mind's eye, I see in front of me another pinnacle. Only this one, instead of just being like on the top of a spindle or steeple, it's got a little bit of a fun place. So I was like, that's really cool. So I tried jumping to it and I miss. And I land in the net. And I was like, this is really cool. I'm landing in the net. This is awesome. I feel totally safe to continue on because I'm going to land in the net. I know that if I let go, I know that if I move on, I'm landing in the net. So I climb up to the top and now I'm standing. And it's a little bit more stable because I'm no longer standing on a steeple. Now I'm standing on like there's more ground to stand on. And I see ahead, oh, look, there's another one. And this one, the top is a little bit bigger. And so this time I jump across and I almost get it. So instead of landing down in the net, I land like halfway and I was like, sweet. So I like get a little higher and I climb to the top and now I'm like really standing there. I'm like, I can confidently stand. I don't even feel like there's any problem because I know if I fall, there's a net and I'm standing on a more solid ground. I was like, this is really cool. And I see ahead that there is an area that's got more space to it. I was like, sweet. And so I jump across. This time I landed. I landed on the top and I was like, this is awesome. And I see out ahead, there's more and more. And each time the platform gets bigger. And so each time I can jump. And even if I miss, I know there's a net to catch me. And I can just keep going. And now here's the thing. I did this yesterday. This morning, I saw in my mind's eye myself again, and I was like, cool, I'm going to go again. This time, instead of the net being way down here, like here's me standing up here, right? And the net's way down here. This time the net is up here when I see it. And I was like, oh my gosh, the net's like right there. How cool is that? And so now the thing that happens is I'm able to let go. I'm able to just surrender. I'm able to know that if I fall off, I'm safe, I'm caught, and I'll just get back up and go again. And I feel different. I feel more confident. I know that I can offer something. And if it doesn't work, it's okay. I'm not like holding on to that. This has to be the way it works, because I can let go and know that if it doesn't work and I fall down, first of all, I'm getting caught. I have my safety net there, and I'll just get up and go again. And maybe it's a different thing that I get to try. That's one of the problems that we have with manifesting, is we kind of get in our minds, I want to create this thing, and then we hold on really tight, like it has to be this way, instead of just going and allowing ourselves that if we get it, awesome, celebrate it. And if you don't get it and you fall down, celebrate that too and get up and go again. But this is a way that you can imagine yourself. If you feel like you're holding on, visualize this kind of a thing. What are you standing on? Are you standing on like this little tiny thing and holding on for dear life? Visualize that in your head. And then if you feel like you need to check down ahead and make sure the net's really down there, take a look. Can you see it down there? And if you can't see it down there, clear the energy, send light to it, and bring in that safety net. Bring in that feeling and look again and see it there. And then let go. And allow yourself to be caught. Because part of the reason why we don't let go is we're afraid that we will get hurt. And I read this the other day, and I can't even remember where, so I don't even know. One of the problems with these kind of things that are like psychological mind game things is our brains are designed to solve problems. So we say, here's a problem, here's a solution, we fix the problem. And I don't care if you're a man or a woman, we all do this. We all want to fix the problem. Some people are more like straight to the fixing it, and some people are more emotional about it and get their part. It takes longer to get there, but everybody wants to solve the problem. That is what your brain is designed to do, to solve the problem. The problem with when you get into like mind games, the feeling like you're always holding on to something, is your brain's also constantly reminding you, hey, you've got this problem you didn't solve. So when we can give ourselves a new visual that the problem is solved because now I've let go and now I'm being caught in a net and I'm climbing back up, you've given your brain a new visual. The brain says, oh, that problem's solved. We can go on. So that's why doing visual things like this can be really powerful. Sending energy into soul wound is super powerful. It clears up heavy things that are just hanging out there. It just clears it up. We imprint and create more positive things, the things that we want to experience, and changing it in that way just helps us. Because I've done a few visualizings where it's like it doesn't seem to change. And that's why I zap it with energy now. Is because I'm going to zap it with energy, because then it's going to help the change happen. There's nothing going to be holding on to it, and it's going to change, and we're going to move forward. Okay, so there was something else I was going to say about that. Oh, okay. When you've got the new visual and you're seeing yourself going in, breathe it in. And just imagine I'm breathing this energy in. And you can just say, I'm breathing this in, because then it helps it to become a part of you. And you may not see some of the changes happen, like the net moving up right away. Because I think I had to allow myself to feel that safety, have that energy of safety kind of integrate a little bit more before it could come up and be just right there. So that if I just take one step, it's okay, because the net's right there. Like, I don't even have to fall very far. It's like fall down on a trampoline, because the net's going to be soft landing and everything. It's just going to be great. No fear of bruising or anything. I'm just going to bounce right back up and be on my way to the next thing. And I can tell that things have changed because, one, I'm not sitting here going, okay, I want to set my prices at this, but if I tell people that, they're not going to pay. And if I do this, I don't know, I've got to be able to serve like all these people. And if they cannot, then I have to have an option for that. Now I'm just kind of like feeling a lot more solid, like I'm standing on solid ground. Here's my prices. And if somebody can't pay that and they really feel inclined to work with me, then they're going to come to me, or they're not going to come to me, and that's their choice. But I'm not feeling this need to make it available for this like small amount. I'm feeling very confident, like set your price and be solid with it and be okay with that. And that's something I've never felt before. It's really cool. The other thing is, as I woke up this morning and I was just like, bam, do that, gotta do that, bam, gotta do that. What's the next step in my day? And I was just like, bam, like hitting them out there without even thinking about it. It was, oh, I'm gonna put up my creation board. I had an area I made all the things last night. I hurried and put those up. I cleaned out a cupboard, our spice cupboard. We had multiple cans of things that were all open because the cupboard was so disorganized we couldn't see that we already had one, so somebody could go out and buy another one. And so I cleaned that out. I organized it. Didn't even think anything of it. I was just like, yeah, I'm so sick of it. It's done. I'm doing it. So I did that, cleaned that out, and I was just like one thing after another. I'm just like whipping it out, getting it done, and I'm feeling amazing. And I feel like this is so cool. Done. Move to the next step. And there's something very different about how it feels. And that's what I love about doing energy healing, is that you act differently without having to think about it. And there's just a different feeling underneath of it. It's amazing, and it's incredible, and it's joyful, and it's confident. And I just trust that if I take a step and it didn't work, I'm going to be caught and I'll just have to jump back up and do it again. Versus, oh my gosh, what if I take the wrong step? Everything's going to fall apart. None of that's there anymore. Now it's just take the next step. And if the next step I fall down on, that's okay. I'll just get up and go again. It's like baby walking, They're so cute. They fall down and they just get back up. That's what I have to share with you today. I hope you found this absolutely amazing and that you get some great value from this. And you can use the same kind of visualization technique for other things. I've watched people through visualizations where they felt like they had like weird energy around their hands. And in my mind's eye, I saw them pulling the gloves off. So I told them. And so they imagine they're taking the gloves off and the energy's gone. There's one of the energies that I needed to feel was being held. And I felt like I had a very tender part in my heart. And so I visualized being held, and then I breathed it in. And I felt like I was being held. And that tender part in my heart felt better. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use visualization to change the story. And if you zap it with some light and clear and transmute it and imprint and create, it's even more powerful. And that's what I do. That's what I love to do. I love to guide people through that, as well as do a few other things. So it's pretty awesome. And so with that, I'm saying see you next time. Remember to let your light shine big, bright, and beautiful. Be the incredible you that you were designed to be, and let go and live. I'll see you guys tomorrow or next time, whichever comes first. I guess that means I have to do it tomorrow, huh? We'll see. I'll see you when I